Right now, if you feel sick, you can drive to a pharmacy, describe your symptoms to a doctor, and walk out with medicine in under an hour. Your ancient ancestors had none of that. No hospitals, no antibiotics, no painkillers. Just a body in pain and a world that did not care. And yet somehow they survived. For 300,000 years, ancient humans got sick, got injured, and faced diseases that would kill a modern human in days. Infections that spread without warning, broken bones with no splints, fevers that burned for days with nothing to bring them down. And they developed solutions so effective that scientists are still studying them today. What they did when they got sick will change the way you think about medicine forever. Because some of what they figured out with nothing but instinct and plants turned out to be more powerful than anything in your medicine cabinet. Think about that for a moment. People who had never seen a laboratory, never read a medical textbook, never attended a single day of school, figured out cures that took modern science thousands of years to catch up to. They were not lucky. They were not guessing. They were running 300,000 years of accumulated survival knowledge that got passed down from generation to generation. And what they knew about the human body would shock you. The first thing ancient humans reached for when they got sick was the earth itself. Researchers studying Neanderthal burial sites in Iraq found something that stopped scientists cold. Pollen from 8 different medicinal plants was found buried alongside the body. Yarrow, groundsel, ephedra, plants that modern pharmacology still uses today. This is not an exaggeration. Ephedra is the plant that modern decongestants are still derived from. Your ancestors discovered it was medicine 60,000 years before a pharmaceutical company put it in a box. Ancient humans across every continent independently discovered that willow bark reduced fever and pain. The active ingredient in willow bark is salicin. Salicin is what aspirin is made from. They did not have chemistry labs. They did not have microscopes. They had 300,000 years of trial and error written into their survival instincts. And it worked. But it was not just willow bark. Ancient humans discovered turmeric reduced inflammation 4,000 years before modern science confirmed it had anti-inflammatory properties. They discovered that garlic killed infection long before anyone understood what bacteria was. They discovered that certain clay soils could be eaten to absorb toxins from the stomach, a practice now confirmed by modern science to work. Researcher Mormon Daniel compiled a database of over 27,000 medicinal plant uses by indigenous cultures around the world. What he found was staggering. Cultures that had never had any contact with each other had independently discovered the same plants treated the same conditions. The earth was their pharmacy, and they knew exactly where to look. But plants were only part of the story. When ancient humans were injured, the problem was not just pain, it was infection. A cut that gets infected in the wilderness without antibiotics is a death sentence. So ancient humans figured out something that modern medicine only confirmed in the last 100 years: honey. Researchers found evidence of ancient humans using honey on wounds as far back as 8,000 years ago. Honey is naturally antimicrobial. It kills bacteria. It seals wounds. It prevents infection. Modern hospitals still use medical-grade honey on wounds today. But ancient humans went even further. They discovered that certain spider webs placed over wounds help stop bleeding and prevent infection. Modern science has now confirmed that spider silk contains natural antimicrobial compounds. They used maggots to clean infected wounds, a practice that sounds horrifying until you learn that maggot therapy is still used in modern hospitals today to clean wounds that antibiotics cannot reach. Archaeologists found skulls dating back 10,000 years with evidence of trepanation. Trepanation is the deliberate drilling of a hole into the human skull, and the bone around those holes showed signs of healing. These patients survived the surgery. Ancient humans were performing brain surgery 10,000 years before the first hospital existed, with stone tools, with no anesthesia, with no sterile environment, and people survived. The survival rate for ancient trepanation procedures has been estimated by researchers at up to 90%. Let that sink in. 90% of patients survived ancient brain surgery performed with sharpened rocks. But here is where it gets stranger. Ancient humans did not separate the body from the mind when someone got sick. They treated both at the same time. Every ancient culture on Earth independently developed the role of the healer, someone who combined plants, ritual, community, and psychology to treat the sick. Modern medicine spent centuries dismissing this as primitive superstition. Then the research started coming in. Researchers studying the placebo effect found that belief in treatment activates real biological healing responses in the body. When an ancient healer performed a ritual over a sick person, that person's body released stress chemicals, lowered inflammation, and in some cases recovered faster than people given actual medicine. This is not superstition. This is neuroscience. Your brain is so powerful that simply believing you are being healed can trigger real physical changes in your body. Researcher Ted Kapchuk at Harvard Medical School found that the placebo effect works even when patients know they are taking a placebo. The ritual of being cared for is itself a form of medicine. Ancient humans figured this out 300,000 years before the first clinical trial. They called it ritual. We call it the placebo effect. They are the same thing. But ancient healing was not just about the individual, it was about the community. When someone in an ancient tribe got sick, the whole tribe gathered. They sat with the sick person, they fed them, they sang to them, they stayed. Modern research on social support and healing has confirmed that patients who have strong community around them during illness recover faster, have lower levels of inflammation, and live longer. Your ancient ancestors did not need a research paper to know this. They just knew. So what did ancient humans do when they got sick? They reached into the earth and pulled out medicine that modern science is still catching up to. They performed surgery with tools made from stone. They healed wounds with honey pulled from beehives. They gathered around the sick and refused to leave. And they understood something that took modern medicine thousands of years to accept, that the mind and the body are not separate. That belief is medicine, that community is treatment, that healing has always been ancient. Every time you take an aspirin, you are using a remedy your ancestors discovered in the bark of a willow tree 300,000 years ago. Every time you put honey on a wound, you are doing exactly what they did. Every time someone sits with you when you are sick and refuses to leave, you are experiencing the oldest medicine on earth. We did not invent healing, we inherited it from people who had nothing but each other and the earth beneath their feet. And somehow, that was enough. You are not living in a modern world that figured everything out. You are living in an ancient world that never forgot. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are just ancient. Like, subscribe, and comment what ancient remedy you still use today.